Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Kyle from the TF Review, and today we're going to be taking a look at Warbotron WB01-D. This is Whirlwind, the fourth combaticon in the Not Bruticus set, loosely based on Vortex. Taking a quick look at the packaging, we can see it's very similar to all of the other Warbotron packagings that we've gotten so far. Nice, almost reflective silver outer coating. Turn it around. Right here we have yet another piece in what will become a large collage. This is the piece that'll be the second up to the right, and that's basically it. Now what we can do, now we can't slide that out, and obviously, and here we have, again, typical Warbotron packaging, except instead of the green color, it's now blue. You have a nice picture of Whirlwind, you can see him right there, the back of the packaging. It's got more art, nothing, Warbotron.com, email, admin, Warbotron, blah, blah, blah. You still have some hilarious misspellings on this side. Rank Surgeon, he is Action Team Marshal Master in the Aramid Forces of the Warbotron. Taking Whirlwind out of the box, we can see it comes in this nice tray. Again, you get another player card right here. Again, nice, very nice and reflective. And you get these little pieces, which are in fact for airburst. I believe these are combiner port pieces. But we don't need those just yet. And here we have Whirlwind himself. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start this review in robot mode. So yeah, we might as well start by taking a look at his accessories. First thing is first, this is of course his main blaster, his main weapon. This also forms the main front piece of this helicopter, and it makes for a nice little blaster. It's a little bit gappy, but it works. He also comes with 4 blades. They're all identical, and they all peg in to this back piece right here. And they're not the same blades that were shown in some of the early test shots. In some of the early test shots, the blades were a little bit thicker, and they had like a little swoop part that came out. These blades are definitely different. They're a little more detailed, and I personally like them. Now, also what you can do is you can take these blades, and you'll notice it comes with these little yellow pieces, and a lot of people were confused, like, what do I do with these yellow pieces? And what you do is you take each blade, and you can stick them in like that, and they hold in, they're really nice and sturdy, and you can go ahead and connect them to the forearms if you want to give them that style weapon. Dual wielding 4 different blades, and that's really cool. I really dig this look. Totally menacing and really, really nice looking. And he's totally falling apart on me. What you can also do is you can take the blades and you can stick each one individually into the rotor, and you can peg him into the back, and that also looks really good. I really dig that. The blades are a little bit of a pain in the butt because you have to keep pegging them in, you know, every time you transform him, unless you want to keep them like this. But yeah, that looks really sweet. It spins really nice. And you'll also notice he does come with 2 detachable cannons. These do have fold down 5mm ports right here. If you can actually fold them down. I don't think my nails are long enough. But if you can find a way to fold it out, he can hold them in his hands. And that's, you know, that's a thing. But apart from that, you generally want to keep him right there on his shoulders because I think that looks the best. Now, taking a look at the robot itself, he looks really, really nice. A lot like Airburst, you do kind of take the wings and fold them up behind his legs. I'm not really a big fan of that, especially considering how flimsy these wings are versus Airbursts. I feel like these could break very easily, so I'm just not sure how comfortable I am with them just slapping them on the back like that and parts forming. That's really my only major gripe with his robot mode. Other than that, it's really nice. I do have additional small gripes in that this chest piece, it for some reason does not want to peg down. So it's always popping up. I'm sure you've seen that a couple times. That's annoying. And also you noticed earlier, these little panels do like to pop off like that. And that's also can get a bit annoying. In terms of articulation, his head is on a nice ball joint. You can look up and down, left and right. His arms move in and out, and they're actually on double joints. So, you know, they can bend 90 degrees and kind of bend back, but you don't really want to do that either. And his fingers do have individual articulation, and you can rotate them, and that's kind of nice. He's got an epic waist swivel. His legs can move left and right. They are on ratcheting joints for the arm gimmick. They have upper thigh swivel, bend at the knees, 90 degrees, and his feet can rotate left and right. They do have some jointage, but not generally a lot, but enough so that it can stand really nicely. And when you're posing his legs, you do kind of want to be careful because in his transformation, these parts stick up, and it doesn't really lock into anything, so they do want to undo themselves, and that can get a bit frustrating. But apart from that, in terms of detail, in terms of paint apps, in terms of articulation, this figure is absolutely gorgeous, and I am very, very pleased. Alright, now to get Whirlwind into his robot mode, first thing we want to do is there's quite a bit of parts forming needed to be done. Start by taking these rocket booster jet thingies off. Then we want to remove each blade. And lastly, we want to take off these fin pieces, which have kind of been parts formed. And we're left with this. This is the core Whirlwind right here. Now, first things first, we want to take his legs and stick them together. And then you also want to be careful when you're doing this because there are multiple joints down here for the feet. And things do get disaligned pretty easily. So you just want to make sure they're straight. And you can go ahead, click them together, and fold the feet back like that. And that's all you really need to do for that. And after you've stuck his feet together, what you can actually do is this kind of big transformation movement where a lot of things are moving at once. So you have to be careful. First thing you need to do is unpeg this backpack, straighten his head, and you'll notice the head slits right into this little groove. It's a really tight fit, so you need to make sure it's right on the money. Then what you do is you lower that piece, and then now the window with these two little pegs, they peg into these two little slots right here next to his head, like that. Now what you can do is take these pieces, fold them around, plug them in. You can actually do this in an earlier step. I find it easier to do it now, just because they can't get in the way. And just peg this back piece in right there, like so. And hopefully if you've done it right, everything should stay together nice and firm. Then what you can do, take this gun, and all you want to do is fold this piece around, and then you take it, and you just peg it in like that. And there's basically the core helicopter. Now what you want to do with the arms is you want to make sure with this double joint that it's folded out like this. And then what you can do is you need to rotate it, make sure this panel is open, and then you can take the hand, fold it in, and you want to fold the arm around so it looks just like this, and you'll notice there's a wing. Now creates a wing, and there's these two little pegs. These peg right into the side. They don't really peg into anything, they sort of just are squeezing between this little hole right here. It's not the sturdiest or the most comfortable of pegs, so it's a little bit nerve-wracking. You need to be really careful. Then you do the same exact thing to this side. And that's, so far, is the helicopter. Then, what you need to do is you need to take these two little panels. This contains the back rotor and the wing. And you'll notice there's some poles and some pegs. You need to just squeeze them together and get them to clip in. You'll see how really fragile these pieces are. They are so fragile. And now you can peg these two pegs right here into the back end of the helicopter. Like that. And we are almost done. Next, what you can do if you want, you don't need to, is take these blasters, which are on his shoulders, and peg those back into the helicopter mode. And do the same on this side. You don't need to do it, but I think it looks so much cooler when you do. And lastly, peg his blades back into the top. And here we have Whirlwind in his helicopter mode, and he looks so awesome. I think this is my favorite vehicle mode so far of the Warbotron bunch. It's so smooth. It does not scream Transformer at all. It's just really, really nice and very detailed. The blades, they do spin around, but they literally come like within millimeters. Let me show you how close. That is literally how close it gets to the rotors. And it does spin. Of course, you know, just make sure everything's angled properly. Now, some people do complain about this back rotor being yellow. I can't imagine that would be a very hard piece to replace. Since it's just sort of riveted in here, you could probably just pull it out and stick a new one in. That'll be easy to replace if you're not a fan. In terms of detail, it's fully detailed. It's really nice. There's nothing lacking. It would be nice if the window in the front had a bit more detailing, just sort of highlighting the bars and whatnot where they would be, the supports of the window frame. That would have been nice. Of course, that's me being very nitpicky, because this does look really solid and really nice. Now, he does also have some landing gear. Landing gear you need to be very careful with, a lot like Blast Off, where his was kind of finicky. This one is too. These two wheels fold out, and then this one also folds out. And you can just sit him down, and there you go. Just roll him around. He rolls really well. Yeah, and that's basically it. There's not much else to say about this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a different video where I take a look at the transformation into each arm mode. That's going to be the big sort of Warbotron video, where I do all 5 of them. But it's so good to know that we are almost there. We are almost to Warbotron's Bruticus finally after this long delay. And I'm so excited. I would recommend this figure. A, because it would complete Warbotron. However, be warned, I would say this is probably the most fragile figure in the bunch. That record previously belonged to SLY STRIKE with all his backpack, crazy fold and kibble, but this is, with these pieces and the blades always kind of bending, and these arm panels, which are very, very fragile, I would say that this is, so far, the one you want to be the most careful with. But it does pay off, and he just looks unfreaking believable. Well worth the wait, in my opinion, so, you know. Thumbs up for me. It's a great standalone figure, and considering the fact that it's a part of a bigger set, is just gravy, my friend. So, that does it for this review, guys. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at the TF Review, like me on Facebook at the TF Review, and I am not done with Warbotron yet. Still got 2 more figures to look at. Heavy Noisy, and of course, Fierce Attack when that comes out. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I always have one in the works. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.